Opening in 2021, Kondaa will be the new gem of Walibi Belgium. The Intamin mega coaster looks to shock riders with a huge supply of airtime and unique elements not usually seen on this type of ride. On Wednesday, the park finally released the first POV of this brand new thrill machine, so let's dive into a layout breakdown. After locking down the Intamin lap bars and rolling out of the station, the 6-car, 12-row trains start to climb the 164-foot lift hill. Now unfortunately, this Intamin doesn't feature their popular cable lift system, but seeing as it isn't even a hypercoaster, it'd be a little redundant. Then as the ride crests the hill, the trains dive down the first drop at 80 degrees, hitting speeds of 70.2 miles per hour. Now this first drop twists riders to the right and will most likely supply some rare sideways airtime. The ride then continues into a 139-foot camelback hill designed for sustained airtime. Then the ride rises back up into an outer bank hill that turns right. Now Intamin coasters continue to add these new elements, made famous by RMC in all their new rides. After completing the outer bank hill, the trains enter the most unique part of the ride, the non-inverting cobra roll. The trains climb up and twist outward before whipping back to the left and then completing the maneuver in reverse, this time completing what appears to seem like a dive loop. After this wacky element, the trains fly over a speed hill which should give a sharp pop of ejector airtime and bank hard to the right. The ride climbs into what looks like a small wave turn before diving back down and turning left hard. After this left-hand turn, the ride reaches its finale. Nothing but pure airtime. Speed hill, followed by a twisted airtime hill into an off-axis double down, then a small camelback, S-bend, and 4 small pops of airtime before finally rolling into the brakes. The entire ride experience lasts about 55 seconds from the drop to the brakes, and in total, the ride features 15 moments of airtime. Some quick math puts that at about an airtime moment every 3.7 seconds. So I think the most exciting part of this layout, besides how much they pack into a 3,937 feet of track, is just how different it seems. Early you have a twisted drop, an outer bank hill, and a non-inverting cobra roll. First, a twisted drop is pretty rare for mega-style coasters, especially Intamins. Outer banks have lost some of their novelty over the years, but even if they aren't as rare as they used to be, they are definitely noteworthy. Then the non-inverting cobra roll is obviously a one-of-a-kind element that we haven't seen before, and it's definitely not something you expect on a ride like this. I love how Intamin in recent years is starting to incorporate some elements like this into mega and hyper style coasters. Hyperion has a dive loop in it, and I think adding inversions and different forces really adds to a coaster style that used to be designed to be basically an out and back airtime hill filled coaster. Now after that cobra roll, the ride completely swaps the high off the ground style and stays low. Besides the speed hill, the train barely tops 35 feet off the ground for the rest of the course. Even an airtime filled finale has a slightly different take here. This ride seems more focused on speed hills and off-axis airtime than the traditional camelbacks that seem to shrink through rides of normal hyper layouts. Because of how low this coaster stays at the end, it should have some of the best pacing out there. Even pulling into the brakes, it looks like it keeps a speed of about 45 miles an hour. And I think pacing is something that can often be overlooked when new roller coasters are announced by parks, as people tend to focus on the individual elements in the layouts, but this ride really shouldn't have an issue. Even the transitions are low to the ground, sharply banked turns, wave turns, and off-axis airtime sections. Now a bit off topic from the layout, but the trains for this coaster look absolutely amazing. The reptilian head on the Zero car is truly intimidating, and while it looks like there will be some decent theming around the queue and the entrance of the ride, this should be really closer to a Six Flags amusement park style coaster than something of like a Velocicoaster status. That being said, the effort put into the ride's theming goes a long way in my mind, and I think every park should put at least this much effort into it. Now, as for how good I think this ride can be, after seeing the POV, I expect to hear a lot about this from European enthusiasts. I think of another Intamin mega coaster focused on airtime and Exposition G-Force, and it's hard not to see some of the similarities in stats, layout design, and ride experience focus. If Kondaa does turn out that good, it could easily be a top 15 coaster in the world, with many enthusiasts having it in their top spot. Now overall, there really isn't anything I would change in this layout. Given the height and space, this really seems that Intamin blew it out of the water with this. The layout is overall tasteful, unique, and it seems to be packed with great forces. So as long as the ride is smooth and done well, which I can't see it not be, it should be an absolutely huge hit for the park and easily their new most popular attraction. So I think those are all my thoughts on this great looking new attraction coming to the park in 2021. What do you think of this new Intamin and how good do you expect it to be? If you want to see more layout breakdowns or coaster videos, check out the rest of the channel. For daily coaster content, head over to Island Coasters on Instagram. Until next week, that's all from the shores of Island Coasters.